Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Pat.
I'm Stephanie.
So, it's November, which means that Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yay!
Yeah, which is means absolutely nothing to me, but it's a lot bigger for you, of course.
I'm going home for Thanksgiving.
Okay, you'll be off any time then, really.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, what do you do you go for the traditional kind of meals with all the normal stuff? Nothing kind of out of the ordinary?
No, we don't do anything weird. We have the big turkey. One of my sisters brings ham because she
like
likes
roast ham kind of thing?
It's honey ham.
Okay, that'll do.
Roast. Oh, it's good. But my dad doesn't like it. He calls it the pig. He doesn't like the pig. But we're big turkey dressing, stuffing. We miss my mom. My mom passed away 3 years ago, and we miss her stuffing because none of us can quite get the stuffing. I thought I had it, but yeah. What about you guys don't have Thanksgiving.
No, we don't at all. We've got Christmas, which has got a lot of the same foods. It's got the turkey, the stuffing, and the cranberry sauce, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about today. It's an essential part of the Thanksgiving meal. So let's find out more about the cranberry. A juicy turkey, fluffy mashed potatoes, warm gravy, and a mixture of roasted vegetables appear every year on Thanksgiving Day. Although the dishes prepared in each household may vary, no other dressing can take the place of cranberry sauce on the Thanksgiving table. In fact, it's been widely accepted that cranberries were present at the very first Thanksgiving feast. It was then that the early settlers were introduced to the benefits of cranberries by Native Americans. Cranberries are one of very few fruits originating from North America. They grow widely in Massachusetts, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and in parts of Washington and Oregon from September through November. Cranberries were made popular by Native Americans, who discovered many practical uses for this fruit. Many tribes relied on cranberries as a source of food, medicine, and red dye. They used cranberries in a variety of dishes. One prized dish was called pemmican, similar to a modern-day energy bar. It was made by pounding cranberries, melted fat, and dried meat together. Native Americans also discovered the healing properties of cranberries, using the fruit to draw out poison from wounds, reduce fevers, and kill germs. The rich red juice of cranberries was also used as fabric dye for rugs, blankets, and clothing. Today, cranberries are still being praised for their numerous health benefits. High in antioxidants and packed with vitamin C, cranberries have been crowned as a superfood. Researchers have found them to be especially effective in preventing urinary tract infections, as well as lowering the risk of cancer and heart disease. With all that this fruit has to offer, it's no wonder the cranberry is celebrated all year round. Okay, are you feeling hungry now after all?
Oh, my stomach's going to growl. Yeah, and it's about lunchtime here too. So we're going to talk about some of the uses for the cranberry. I love cranberries. I think they're great.
Yep, I got some upstairs on my desk. I've got some of the dried ones in a little jar that I can snack on when I feel like it.
Oh, yum. That sounds so good. Well, let's start out by describing a pretty delicious sounding Thanksgiving Day dinner. And that's having a juicy turkey, which we cook turkeys primarily at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
I don't eat much turkey other than that. It's hard to find turkey in Taiwan.
Turkey, Subway, hasn't it got turkey sandwiches?
Turkey, yes.
And Jai has got the turkey rice, I think.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's famous for it. We've also got fluffy mashed potatoes. So if it's fluffy, they're light in texture. There's more air that's kind of been mixed in as they've been mashed. And if you mash them, you just kind of smash you boil them up first and then you smash them so they're this kind of white, almost not quite powdery, not quite liquidy, this kind of somewhere in
thick
between.
Liquid, maybe. Yeah.
Warm gravy, which is the stuff kind of made of meat juice and a few other ingredients that you pour on stuff to give it a bit of extra liquid and flavor. And this mixture of roasted vegetables. What's traditional? Is it like squashes and stuff like that for you guys?
Corn. Some squash sounds good, but corn definitely. Everyone likes mashed potatoes with corn.
Okay.
Green beans, sometimes with the onion rings on top. Have you ever had that dish?
No, that's not one of the British ones.
Cream of mushroom soup with green beans and then onion rings.
We got roasted vegetables. We'd more have roasted potatoes, and then you might have you adding maybe the Brussels sprouts or the broccoli and a few other things like that at Christmas.
That all sounds yummy. So this is sort of a typical Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, every year this is the sort of thing that would be on your table.
Yeah. Although the dishes prepared in each household may vary, no other dressing can take the place of cranberry sauce on the Thanksgiving table.
So what we're saying here, I guess, is that not every house has the same food.
No.
At Thanksgiving, some people will say, we don't have this one, but we do have this one. It's kind of a family thing.
Yeah, and everybody cooks differently anyway. So,
they might do different kind of the way they cook the turkey, the different kind of bastings and stuff they put on it. And it'll vary. That's what we mean. It changes. It's different for everybody depending on the household, which just means kind of family, the people who live in the house and the people who come round.
Yeah. So no other dressing. A dressing is something you put on top of food. It's added to make it taste even better. We have salad dressing, for example, which is put on top of salads. Well, no other dressing can take the place of cranberry sauce on the Thanksgiving table. If you take the place of something, it means you're substituted in for something else. Nothing can take the place of your mom, or no one else can take the place of your dad, or nothing can take the place of donuts early in the morning when you're hungry.
The pleasure of watching cricket on a hot Sunday in summer. It's maybe a bit too British, that one.
Yeah, very British, yes.
But yeah, you need cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
This is what the sentence is saying. You can have whatever other dishes you have.
Doesn't matter.
No matter what other dressings are there, you need to have some cranberry sauce. And it does provide a really good kind of sharp, sweet counterpoint to some of the other foods.
Yeah, it's not just sweet. There's a sharpness, a twang to it.
A little sour.
It's tangy.
It's got that little bit in there. And it just really adds to all these other... Because the other foods can be a little bit, we'd use the word stodgy. Kind of thick, the potatoes,
heavy.
The meat, the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of umami flavors, I guess. So adding this cranberry sauce is necessary.
It lightens it up a little bit. Now, in fact, it says it's been widely accepted that cranberries were present at the first Thanksgiving feast. That's back when the first Americans landed.
Yeah, 1600 and something.
And they had a big feast with the Indians there. And one of the things that was present on that table was cranberries, which is kind of fun. Cranberries are very natural. They're in nature.
Yeah, you just pick them off the trees. Yeah. And it was then that the early settlers were introduced to the benefits of cranberries by Native Americans. So settlers are people who come to a country and they land there pretty much and they decide, okay, we're going to live here now.
Make a home.
We're going to, build homes, find jobs, create lives, have families and never go back. So I'm basically a settler now.
You are?
Well, being in Taiwan for
here.
a while, I'm a settler in Taiwan.
Now, for the most part, though, when we use settlers, we're talking about people that are going to a land that isn't very... well cultivated.
Yeah,
perhaps.
It's kind of still a lot of nature and a lot of forest.
A lot of wild.
Yeah, still being built on.
Yeah.
Settlers, we usually talk about whole groups rather than individuals.
Yeah, true. Well, next paragraph starts out with cranberries are one of the very few fruits originating from North America. Yeah, a lot of the fruits we have in North America are originally from Europe, South America.
Imports,
Yeah, we got them from other countries. And people brought in plants, and that's how they started growing in North America. But cranberries are native to North America.
There you go. That's where they come from. And they grow in a number of different states. The next paragraph kind of lists them. You got Massachusetts.
Boston.
Yeah, which is up in the northeast. Wisconsin, which is more Midwest. New Jersey, again, northeast, but a bit further south. Washington and Oregon, which are both on the west coast.
That's on the opposite
side. So all the same kind of, I guess, area, temperate, climate. No, it doesn't. You don't want it too hot or too cold, I suppose. And it's from September through November. So these are fall fruits.
Yeah, I was there in the fall in Boston, Massachusetts. And my mom and my aunt and I all went to a factory for the company called Ocean Spray. We have Ocean Spray.
Yeah, you can see the drink
cranberry
and the cranberries
juice here. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Okay, so that's when they grow, and they were made popular by Native Americans, the people who lived in the U.S. before, before it was the U.S. and before any of the Europeans arrived.
Yeah.
And these people, they discovered many practical uses for the fruit. So they didn't just eat it, they used it for all sorts of other things, and they kind of found all this stuff out, and then they introduced the benefits to the settlers, like, hey guys, check this stuff out. It's got so many uses.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chinese medicine, where a lot of the remedies are from plants, right?
Yep.
And people from long, long ago, they've tried using these different natural remedies to cure things. Well, here we're talking about the Native Americans. Native Americans are grouped in something called a tribe. And a tribe is a large group of people. Most of them are family, but not all. So
they speak the same language and dialect, and they have similar customs.
Customs are similar, too. And they would talk to these tribes and found out that, cranberries are very useful. You can eat them, so they were a source of food, it says. You can use them for medicine.
Which is very important.
Yeah, and red dye. They're a really strong red color.
Yes.
So they would use the red dye on their clothes and feathers and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. And as we've said, they use cranberries in a variety of dishes. So lots of different dishes. They did different things, as well as just eating them off the trees.
Yeah.
And one prized dish, so one that was very important for them and one which they considered very special, was called pemmican. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it was similar to a modern-day energy bar. So I guess like a granola bar, where it's kind of pounded up, healthy stuff, grains and fruits and nuts.
Or pressed together.
Yeah, all kind of like squeezed and squashed together. Now, this one was made by pounding cranberries, melted fat, and dried meat together. If you pound something up, you've got it all in a bowl. You've got one of these big, it's not really a spoon, it's called a pestle and a mortar. You kind of grind it all up.
Right.
Imagine it in Taiwan if you were making lei cha, that kind of Hakka people's tea, where you pound up all the nuts and the grains and the tea leaves in the bowl.
Oh, I see.
Same kind of idea.
Yeah, so
just with melted fat and dried meat.
Which kind of sounds a little bit gross to me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, me too.
But, a lot of the North American Indians, they would go and, they would be gone far from their families, hunting for food and meat. They go hunting, and so they would need sources of sources of food
that lasts. And the melted
lasts.
fat and the dried meat will mean this lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like an energy bar, so it'll give you energy, it'll keep you going, and it's not going to be too unhealthy. Like when you go off hiking up on the mountains or whatever, you take trail mix or granola bars because they give you good energy.
Carry.
Yeah, they give you a quick burst of energy and they'll keep you on your feet.
Yeah. Got to be careful with some of the energy bars out there that have a lot
too
of
much
sugar.
This sounds like a more healthy version.
Yeah, I don't think they added sugar to their bars.
No, they wouldn't have had much sugar around to add.
So those cranberries were probably a little bit sour.
Yeah, probably true. But if they dried them out, then you'd get the juice out and you'd keep some of the sweetness. It would ripen in the sun.
Yeah,
so there
hopefully.
You go. Okay, well, we're going to take a short break now before we find out what else cranberries were used for. It's time for us to listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 我们来看一下今天的第一个空格的句子。In fact, it's been widely accepted that cranberries were blank one at the very first Thanksgiving feast. 事实上呢，一般来讲，大家都可以接受的就是蔓越莓在第一次的感恩节盛宴当中就怎么样了。那么在这里呢，我们要选择的是一个形容词，又可以搭配文意，表示从以前到现在，蔓越莓在我们的餐桌上是一个很重要的食材。所以第一题我们可以选择 C 选项 present， 在这里是有在场的存在的。 而第二个空格就在后面的这一句提到 It was then that the early settlers were blank to the benefits of cranberries by Native Americans. 而就是在那个时候呢，早期的 settlers 在这里可以解释成为开拓者或移居者，他们怎么样？然后呢，是由当地的这个美洲的原住民介绍什么的好处呢？就是介绍蔓越莓的好处给了这些早期的开拓者。在第二个空格是 be 动词的后面被介绍给这些人，所以可以搭配文意。第二题选择 F 选项的 introduced 则是有介绍引进的意思。第三个空格的句子提到 Cranberries are one of the very few fruits blank 3 from North America。要注意的是，这里谈到蔓越莓是少数的这样的水果，然后呢，来自于北美洲。我们可以搭配的是 B 选项 originating originate from 就是有源自于，所以这一句是解释成为它是极少数原生于北美洲的水果之一。所以第三题的标准答案我们就选择 B originating。第四个空格在这里有提到 Cranberries were made popular by Native Americans。 我们刚刚就提到呢，是由美洲的原住民所介绍给早期的移居者。这里修饰一下 Who discovered many blank 4 uses for this fruit。 当时呢，美洲的原住民就发现了这种水果许多怎么样的用途呢？第四个空格再搭配后面的文意，可以看到蔓越莓可以用来当食物、药材，甚至是染料，所以是有许多实用性的用途。所以搭配文意，第四题我们可以选择 H 选项的 practical， 就有实用的意思。第五个空格 Many tribes blame 5 cranberries as a source of food, medicine, and red dye。 这里提到许多的部落怎么样？主词后面搭配动词，他们就依赖蔓越莓当作是这些重要的材料。第五题动词我们可以选择一选项的 relied on， 也就是有依赖、依靠的意思。第六个空格 They used cranberries in a and blank 6 of dishes。 我们讲到呢，当时美洲的原住民会使用蔓越莓在许多各式各样的菜肴当中。英文里面提到 a variety of 就是有各式各样的意思，所以第六题的标准答案可以选择 I variety。We're
going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, welcome back, and we're talking about cranberries. We've just talked about different ways we can eat them, but that's not all cranberries could be used for.
Right. So we talked about the energy bar that they would make and that the Native Americans would go on hunting expeditions with them to keep them full, at least, sustained and ready to I guess to hunt after some of those things that they would find.
Buffalo, mostly.
Buffalo, yeah, because there weren't any cows, I think, or steer back then. Now, it was made, of course, by pounding these things together. They also discovered that cranberries weren't just good to eat. They had healing properties. Healing properties refers to some of the things inside the cranberries, some of the characteristics, chemicals of the cranberries actually were useful if you had an injury. Maybe you cut yourself or maybe you fell down, skinned your knee. I'm not sure quite what they would use them for.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know they have healing properties, so they can be used to make people better. And they use the fruit to draw out poison from wounds.
Oh,
That's
wow.
our first one. So a wound is an injury, a cut, something where usually we mean where you've opened up the skin or
Maybe
broken it in some
snake
way.
bit them?
Yeah, snake, scorpion, spider bite, or all sorts of things
Or maybe
can give you
the
poison.
wound was just infected.
Yeah, and you'd want to draw out poison, so they'd use the cranberries and it would suck the poison out of the wound.
Wow.
I'm not exactly sure how, but these days when,
cool.
if someone's bitten by a snake, you can kind of draw the poison. It's not always safe to do so, so you've got to be careful. But yeah, I guess you'd maybe put some cranberries or put some of the juice or the fruit on it, and it would kind of the poison will be pulled into the cranberry and out of the person's flesh.
Yeah, maybe there's something in the cranberries that attracts that poison and pulls it into the cranberry.
Maybe it just kills some of the bacteria
Kinda
there
crazy,
as well,
huh?
something like that. So, and it's also used to reduce fevers. So when people are too hot, they're overheating. Eating the cranberries will kind of bring the fever down.
Because there was no air conditioning back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, wounds just refer to things where the skin is cut. So it's open. If you break your arm, that's not a wound. That's a broken bone.
Yeah.
Typically, wounds refer to injuries that you have where the skin is open, there's blood.
No fun at all.
No.
Now, these cranberries, they had a third property, which was to kill germs.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, from a scientist's point of view, germs is not a very scientific word.
Oh,
it's not. But
really?
it's kind of because we would divide all these things up into different
categories.
What they really are. So
Yeah.
a germ is a very tiny organism or creature, and it's usually used to talk about ones that cause a disease. So it's easy to understand. Germs on your hands, bugs on your hands, germs in your cuts, that sort of thing. A real scientist would say, bacteria, viruses, real examples, but they are germs.
Yeah, they are.
Bacteria are germs, viruses are germs, so...
Germs give us colds.
Yeah, so people say things like you should wash your hands frequently to get rid of germs.
I also wear a face mask on the plane. Forevermore, I will wear a face mask.
Okay, because of germs.
I get a cold every time I fly.
Well, yeah, it's cold up on them planes as well.
Well, a lot of sick people hacking
true.
away. Hacking means coughing, guys. Yeah, and, they don't wear masks, so I have to protect myself. Yes.
So, but luckily cranberries can kind of get rid of germs. They've got some chemicals in them that stop germs from, they kill them or they stop them from multiplying. So it's kind of like soap, really. Soap does the same job.
Yeah, the rich red juice of cranberries was also used as fabric dye for rugs, blankets, and clothing. They actually did use a lot of red. The Native Americans love red, black. Those are their favorite colors. Fabric refers to material, like cotton, silk. Those are kinds of
wool,
fabric.
Yeah.
Notice here, fabric is non-count. Material, which is another word we use for fabric, is also non-count. But if you have very different kinds of fabrics, then you can add the S, guys. But if it's just one kind, just say fabric.
Okay, and rugs is an example of something that got dyed. Rugs are kind of like a carpet, but you can move it. It's a piece of woven fabric you put on the floor.
Yeah,
usually with lots of interesting patterns. You put it down on the tent to kind of keep down the dust, keep your feet clean.
Yeah.
So they dyed the rugs, they dyed their blankets, they dyed their clothing. Okay, we're into our final paragraph of the article here, and it says today, so that's kind of the past of cranberries. Now we're on the modern day and how people think of them now. They are still being praised for their numerous health benefits.
Yeah.
So numerous means there's many of them. There's not just one or two. There are a whole host of benefits to your health that you can get from eating them, from, eating things or drinking things made from cranberries.
Here are some of the things. They're high in antioxidants or antioxidants. Those are both correct. An antioxidant is something that inhibits oxidation, which means it stops oxidation. And it's used often to help protect you against cancer.
Yeah.
And getting old.
Yeah, basically, in our body, oxidation causes reactions.
Yeah.
The reactions caused damaged cells. And the reactions can also affect our DNA, which brings the cancer about. So having antioxidants in our body stops these reactions.
Good,
and therefore prevents cancer or helps prevent cancer.
So always look for foods with antioxidants. Those are great for you.
A lot of fruits and vegetables have
blueberries. cranberries.
Yes.
Now, if they're packed with something, packed means something has a lot put inside it, so it's filled quite to the brim. So you've got a lot of stuff inside, packed with a lot of vitamin C's inside them. Cranberries have been crowned or given the title as a superfood. So it is a superfood. It's really, really healthy. Some foods are healthy, but other foods are super healthy. And we
so
call
many
them,
health benefits.
Yeah, we call those superfoods.
Nothing really bad for you.
Yeah.
Researchers have found them to be especially effective, especially good at preventing urinary tract infections.
Yeah.
So your urinary tract is basically where you need to pee out of. It's that part of your body. And they can get infected quite easily. So cranberries help to prevent that.
It's especially good for women.
Yeah. An infection is where bacteria or some other germ or bug get into there and start causing problems. So preventing that with cranberries or whatever other means is obviously something we want to do.
It's terrific.
We definitely don't want any kind of infections, particularly in our urinary tract. So
Painful.
Cranberries, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, it causes problems.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to stop that. And also, cranberries lower the risk of cancer due to the antioxidants and heart disease.
Ooh, good stuff.
Yeah, because they're just great all around.
Yeah, so with all that this fruit has to offer, it's no wonder the cranberry is celebrated all year round. You don't have to just wait until Thanksgiving to have some cranberry.
Christmas. Yeah, you go and get some right now. You can get them dried, you can get them fresh, you can get them in drinks.
And I love the cranberry juice that you can buy here. It's that blue bottle.
Yeah, in 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about craisins before, which is kind of a mixture of cranberry and
those
grapes.
Here.
Yeah.
In some stores, yeah.
Yeah, you can get them in 7, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
I think you can.
Yeah, I usually see a bag in some of the grocery stores that I go to. Yeah, I love them.
All super healthy.
Super duper.
That is the end of our article. We're going to hand you back to our Chinese teacher just for a moment before we come back and wrap things up for today.
接着第7个空格提到 Native Americans also discovered the blank 7 properties of cranberries. 刚刚讲到除了做食物之外呢，美洲的原住民也发现了蔓越莓有怎么样的特质特性呢？原来它们是有治疗疗效的特性，后面有提到呢，可以来治疗伤口，降低你的发热的状况，甚至是杀死一些病菌。所以第7题我们可以选择 A 选项的 healing。我们讲到某个东西有 healing properties， 也就是代表它有疗效的意思。第8个空格 Today, cranberries are still being praised for their numerous blank 8 benefits. 到了今天，蔓越莓还是被大家所称赞，因为它有非常多种怎么样的好处呢？后面讲到维他命 C 等等等等等，当然都是跟健康有关系。所以第8题搭配文意可以选择 G 选项的 health， 就有健康的意思。第9个空格的句子提到 Researchers have found them to be especially effective in preventing urinary tract infections, as well as blank 9, the risk of cancer and heart disease. 而研究人员则发现呢，在治疗尿道炎方面，蔓越莓是非常有效，同时 as well as 可以怎么样呢？可以降低癌症跟心脏疾病的风险。第9题搭配文意选择 D 选项的 lowering， lower 也就是有降低的意思。最后一题 With all that this fruit has to offer, it's no wonder the cranberry is blank 10 all year round. 蔓越莓有这么多的好处，也就难怪整年我们都可以听到大家来称颂赞美蔓越莓的好处咯。搭配文意 J 选项就选择 celebrated， 在这里是有被颂扬被赞美的意思。以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Okay, so that is all for today. Go go and eat cranberries.
Yeah.
It's basically our lesson. They're very good for you. So, if you see some walking around, you feel like a snack, don't pick up some chips or chocolate or, poppy
ice cream.
sticks. Yeah. Go and get yourself some tasty, healthy cranberries.
Sounds good.
Eat them up and go back to our article if you need a reminder of exactly why. Okay, that's all we've got time for. Thank you for listening. For English Digest, I'm Pat.
I'm Stephanie.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.